Josh feels the championness of just what's going on now, because it's his birthday. We're doing an intro on his birthday. And here's the thing, you might think these guys don't like to work, okay? They just give off that vibe. You know? Au contraire, we work not only on Josh's birthday, we wouldn't work on mine, that's ridiculous. On Josh's birthday, we will work, and also we work when we have COVID. I'm not saying that everyone has to work while they have COVID, but we felt that we could, and we did.
I am flying high, Shelby. I'm glad you brought that up because Colorado Avalanche just won last night, so we are stoked about that. Also, we're both testing negative. We finally got over the COVID, and we interviewed the Paranoyds, which we're super excited about. This is a huge day for them. Let's talk about their new album, Shelby.
Nice. That was a solid plug. Their new record, Talk, got announced today. Not only did they announce the new record, they released a new song called Lizzy with a new music video, which is faboosh in my opinion. So it's a very nice music video. I'm excited about it. Josh is excited about it. I like it when a band, when you release something, give me some stuff to sink my teeth into. I want to know, boom, here's what the record's going to be called. Boom, here's a new song. Also, new music video. And that's just like, I don't know. I'm a fan of that. I like the way they did it. It's a good way to go about releasing a single, announcing a record. Very exciting.
We got to talk to them last week, so we could drop this today too. It's a historical day in history. This new album has 11 tracks on it, and I think that's the perfect amount of tracks for an album, by the way. And we're going to post a picture of the album art as well as a clip of their video, and we'll have links. So please check out the Paranoyds. They just opened for Jack White. They're releasing this through Third Man Records. It's a big deal for them, a big moment for them, and you should jump on.
Yeah, totally deserving. They work hard. Cool band with cool sound.
Thank you guys for staying tuned and for watching or listening to this show. And I hope you enjoyed the Paranoids. Please go check them out. Check out their new single, Lizzy.
Yeah, and enjoy the miracle of science that allows you to listen to such things. We're talking to you right now in your ear, and we're not even next to you or anywhere. How crazy is that? It's wild.
That's
it's
right.
It's a miracle of science. Some people are blinded by science. Not us.
Not us.
Favorite scientist, singular, on 3.
1, 2, 3. Neil deGrasse
George Washington
Tyson.
Carver. And all that being said,
enjoy the interview. Let's just get right to it. You opened up for Jack White, and how do you feel about that? And like, how do you feel getting 4 more opportunities to do it again?
Feel pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty. I mean, it was like an interesting situation where unfortunately the original opening band got COVID, and then they like last minute asked us to fill in. So it's sort of like a COVID giveth and then taketh kind of a situation. Cause
it went from them being like, do you guys want to go to the show? And being like, actually, wait, can you guys just open it? And we're like, can we do that? Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty sick too, because it was like such a quick turnaround that there was like, yeah, let's just fucking do this. Go straight for it.
And then I shut down emotionally for like 5 days.
After or before?
Before.
Oh.
Just because like we obviously aren't we're that like, oh, it's like skipping from like a pond to an ocean or something. Like I didn't know what that theater would look like, and I pictured like an 80,000
oh my god
rock arena or something, and then like, oh man, like how are we gonna, we were like, do we need another guitar player? And then we're like, no, White Stripes are literally 2 people, and they've held the weight of like crazy crowds. And then you're like, wait, it is White Stripes. I don't know, it was kind of like I felt really good like when we got there, but like I had crazy anxiety every day, and uh it was weird because it just felt like it made sense. Like once we played it and once we got to meet Jack and like our set before his even, I was like, oh, this like works. Like our songs actually,
Yeah.
I've never considered them in this context like next to White Stripe songs, but like we have kind of the same vibe, and the energy was just like so good, but then it was kind of like a weird thing, like I wonder if he likes us like we like him, like
Yeah.
because the next day we're like on clouds, like, and then he did.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah, obviously I feel like I'm talking about like I'm like glowing right now.
Yeah, well, a few of the band members are like huge fans, so to like even having played like we're all from LA, so all of our family came, like playing that kind of a show, like the theater capacity, and like our family was able to come, and like being huge fans of Jack and the White Stripes was just so special. Being asked to play more shows is even more insane, and then we have an album coming out on his label, so it's just like all kind of like, you know, pinch me, am I dreaming kind of a thing. It's just so cool that he you know, him and Third Man found us and believe in us, and yeah, the Seven Nation Army is strong. Is that one of the, that's the song, right? Is that good?
That's what I was actually wondering about. Like, so it wasn't like an arena or anything like that. It was a theater.
No, it's like a 6,000 capacity, but like it
Okay.
wasn't. We were the opener, so it's like it wasn't full. We could say
Not
it was
capped
full.
yet.
Yeah, we played to 6,000 people. It
They
was
like there were
insane.
so many people lining up outside that couldn't even get in.
Yeah. People forgot their Vax cards. No.
No, it wasn't like that.
But yeah, it was definitely one of those things where like once I saw the layout, I was like, oh, we got this. This is fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what's really cool about the shows that are coming up in September, the other ones we booked, they're like in the South, and like we love New Orleans, obviously, like what's not to love, and like you don't need like an excuse to go down there, right? But we're playing a show down there with him, which is just going to be so much fun. It's like a Friday night in New
So
Orleans.
cool.
Like I don't even know what trouble we're going to get into, but I'm sure it'll be something fun.
I feel like his following there, it's going to be like so interesting to see
Yeah.
what they must love.
Yeah,
Him.
exactly.
And it also went from this thing, you guys just had to plant the seed of Jack White, and I'll just keep talking.
Talk for how long
But-
do we have? An hour and a half?
Yeah. But also it went from like, wow, signing to like one of my kind of founding inspiration to play guitar, like his label. That's so surreal on it in itself. But then in my head, I was kind of like, he probably doesn't even know who we are. He probably doesn't even have a hand in it. Like, who knows if he'll ever even like know who we are or see the record or what. And it like went from that to like now this. And yeah, it's just
But it turned out that like he like insisted on taking a photo with us, which was so cool. You know, you're like, oh, we don't want to bother him. He's like getting ready for his
so
thing.
cool.
And he singled out our keyboard player, Layla. She's not here, but he was like, I've seen a video that you put on YouTube with Korg, which is like a keyboard company. And like this video had like, maybe it has like 200, 300 views. And like, you're like, oh my God, Jack White is like one of the 300 views on this like kind of obscure, like it's a cool video, but you know, it's just kind of like, you know, it's just like a gearhead kind of nerdy video, and like, oh, of course you've seen it. So that was just really cool.
Yeah, it turns out he's like
Does his homework and
and
like
is as
authentic.
kind of as authentic as you would like kind of hope for him to be.
Yeah.
And is like besties with Conan O'Brien, and that was like
Yeah.
also insane to like be a fly on the wall to watch them like riff off of each other, like tall, so tall, taller than you could be
both
prepared
of them.
for.
We were like craning our necks,
Yeah.
like looking up at them. I was like, oh, my neck kind of hurts. Those guys are tall.
Yeah.
Wait, so they're like homies and they were like at the show? They were like hanging out?
Yeah.
Yeah, Conan was like in the Jack's green room, and
With
he
his
was like,
daughter,
yeah,
who
with
was
his
really
daughter,
cute.
yeah, and he was just like riffing with Jack, and they were just kind of like riffing off each other, and we were just like with our mouths open, just watching them, like, oh my god, this is so weird.
That's so cool. I feel like that just like ups the ante a little bit, right? Like, yeah, I know that's what you're saying or whatever, but it's like, oh, you're already starstruck by Jack White, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, it's Jack White and Conan, and then now you're just waiting for anything else to happen, anything else crazy.
On top of that is like Conan's whole or Jack's whole thing is like no phones like at the show. And that
Right.
like I don't know, it was crazy. So the next day everyone wakes up with like no footage of the show, which is like doesn't sound like, oh yeah, whatever, you didn't have a phone, like that can happen, but like it changes the whole mood
Yeah.
of the whole night. And the next day it almost felt like I was like, was I in one of those old Hollywood parties like from, before the internet kind of, and like it felt as epic as like an E True Hollywood Story night or something,
Yeah.
It was cool.
So surreal.
Yeah, it was very surreal.
I feel like that thing that you said about the phones is super interesting because, yeah, like you do something and then that's like the first thing you do the next day, right? You're like, okay, I'm gonna recap last night.
Yeah.
That's super interesting. That I can see that it would just like even not only in the moment but afterwards the whole experience is now put into a different light because of just one little tweak like that.
Yeah, exactly. And and even the night of, like, during it, like, you just kind of assumed that, I don't know, you like didn't notice that there weren't phones there, but you did. There was no glow. There was no like people waiting in line for the bathroom, like mindlessly scrolling. Like everybody was pretty present.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool move if you have the chance to do it. I think it's cool that he does that.
Yeah, but like hire a videographer because you still want to be able to see it sometime. And tell your grandkids about it. That's so
I think
cool. Like,
I think he does do that. I think he's on it.
yeah, I
That
mean that
sounds
makes
pretty
sense.
good.
He's been releasing like lots of great content. I love this new album that he's doing too. It sounds crazy. It sounds insane. The Fear of the Dawn album, super cool. But you guys said you're releasing a new album on Third Man.
Yeah, so it's getting announced next week on the 29th. Sorry,
That's
I
probably
drank
when this will
water
come
all
out.
excitedly. So I'm
You still have the coughs over Jack White?
yeah, I like chugged water because I talked too much. Now I'm
Yeah.
gonna get popcorn lung. Okay. Yeah, so the 29th of June is going to announce the album, and it will be in September, and be kind of like, when it comes out, I think we're like with him, right?
No, we're gonna be actually in London, and I think the game plan as of now is to play Third Man Records London on the actual release date. Because they just opened up their London shop last year. I think it's coming up on like a year of being open, and like when they opened it, I think Jack played like the roof on top, which was so
He
cool.
like popped up on a
Wow.
balcony,
Yeah.
like Let It Be stuff.
Kind of like Willy Wonka. He's like Willy Wonka, yeah. So anyway, we're going to be playing that to kind of celebrate the record release, and then come back to the States a couple days later. We have those shows with Jack, and then in October and November, we're doing like a US tour to promote the album.
Not with Jack,
Not with Jack. Maybe.
but maybe.
Maybe
yeah.
if we keep talking about it, it'll happen.
Yeah, you never
That's
know.
how it probably feels now that you're in like surreal land. It feels like just anything can happen.
Yeah, as
Kind
long
of.
as you just talk about it enough.
Yeah.
As far as like touring and stuff, I know you guys have been a band for, I mean, a long time. You guys met in school, right?
Yeah, we were friends for years and years before we were a band. But yeah, we started the band in like 2015, 2016.
Yeah, it's a while.
Yeah, it's been
Our
a
first
been a
tour was
minute.
2016.
So did you guys like already play instruments and stuff like that, and then you just thought one day randomly you're just like, you know what, we should just like play together? Or how did the inception of it start in that way?
Yeah, we all played instruments, and then Lexi and Layla, before I kind of was Actually, yeah, Lexi and Layla would do like covers together, and then me and Layla wrote like really folky stuff back in like 2007. Like we had one song, but it was a really cool song, just
It
like
was like
acoustic.
Bright Eyes, kind of,
Yeah,
right?
just like
Was the
it
vibe?
was when like Saddle Creek was like king, and Bright Eyes and Rello Kiley and Whisper Town.
It was
and
twee. You guys were folk twee.
It's muy cute.
Yeah.
We should release it.
That'd be
maybe.
cute.
It's called God, I can't remember the name of it. The band was There's More Ocean in the Motion. Just so stupid. Classic, like 14-year-old.
Yeah.
Like,
That was the name of it?
yeah, that was the band. I'm blanking on the. I think it was just called like. No, I really can't. I'm spacing on the name of the song. The song is good.
So good that you
Yeah.
remember what it's called all these years later.
Oh yeah, and we had another song about her dog Riley.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, it was like pretty.
Yeah, high
emo.
school.
Yeah.
What should we write about? My dog?
Yeah. We were doing like really sweet kind of acoustic duetty songs while Lexi and like you guys like played that Car Wash, right?
I was like off in like pop punk land. Like I was on some like crazy like Blink 182 planet. So it didn't really fit in with the like soft folk thing. But I think we still.
And you had that cool guitar, right?
Yeah, I had like an electric pink, like neon guitar. But yeah, I think we all just kind of played instruments, sometimes played together. A few of us went to college, and then when we graduated and Stas was living in New York when we were in college, she moved back, and then we're like, wait, should we all just like start a band? Like it was something that I always wanted to do.
Yeah, it's so funny. We have like the digital references. If I looked in my inbox right now, I could find the emails between me and Lexi in like 2013, 2014 being like, this is what our band's gonna be, and like
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're gonna sign to Burger.
Yeah, I'm sure we were like we could make it on Burger Records. That was like the pinnacle of success in 2013 probably for us.
It's so dated now. We see how it's aged, but that was what was happening when we were starting, and you know, Shannon and the Clams was like a big deal, as they still are, but like at the time it was like, I want this so bad, like seeing them, even though I know I can't do it like them, like it was really inspiring.
We're in a band, and it took like a long time, I think, for us to really figure out what kind of direction we wanted. But it seems like you guys had a vision like right away, right when you guys started, of what you guys wanted it to be. Has that morphed at all?
Yeah, I feel like we're still, I mean, it's not what we said it was going to be initially.
It's not I think it's better.
Oh yeah,
probably.
it's way better. Yeah, I think it's just like the human chemistry once we, you know, get together and stuff like that. It's like, it's this cool non kind of pigeonhole thing. Like we can say it's garage rock, we can say it's like punk or
Post-punk
rock or
yeah.
but I really don't know what
our genre is.
Yeah, and it's like genre bending and like
Cringe.
yeah. Cringe.
Cringe bending.
Yeah.
We talked earlier about the Jack White stuff.
Jack White.
And yeah, so
Did
just
we?
to
I don't
circle back.
remember that.
No.
Can we talk about it again?
Yeah. Okay. So we were talking about how like that felt like a big jump, and I guess I just kind of want to hear about like the early days. I'm sure you guys were playing like, you know, right off the bat, like were you playing to nobody? And then what felt like a big jump to you guys? Was it when you did the Shannon and the Clam stuff, or what felt like a big jump and you're like, wow, this feels like a big jump?
I think we were kind of grinding. We were doing like I think one of our first records. Our first show was at like a vintage store in Venice, and then a pool party.
Oh, that was the first.
And then I remember the first big deal show that I felt that we got was we played the Echo, and I believe we opened for Dive in 2015 or 2016.
2016.
And then just from that one show, they did like 3 nights at the Echo.
That's right.
And it was us on one of the nights. And from that one night, they asked us to go on tour with them when their second album came out. And it was our first US tour. We didn't have a booker, we didn't have a TM, we didn't know how to advance shows, we didn't know what we needed, we didn't know how to do any of it. But it was just so insane that they asked us, and obviously we said yes, and it was just such a luxurious first tour, and we didn't even realize it at the time because like they're huge, they're so good.
We still have fans from that tour
Yeah.
that have like grown up now, and
Yeah.
it's pretty
Right.
crazy. I mean, we were lucky from the beginning, though, to be fair. Like, my brother's band, Sad Girl, were really grinding as well, and they were able to, like, have us open for a lot of their
Yeah.
shows. And all of our friends at the time were in bands as well, and it was, like, really easy to form lineups and to get on some cool shows. But we went through, like, we didn't have a solid drummer for at least a year. So we weren't like formed. We were playing all these shows without like.
Yeah, we kept having to like, would be like 3 gigs, and then somebody would be
Yeah.
like, oh, I can't really do this, and
Yeah.
then find somebody else.
Classic Tale as Old as Time drummers are like the Princes and the Frog or whatever. Like, you have to kiss so many frogs. And then, you know, after a year of like that, it's like we got David, and then
Who's our drummer now still?
yeah, and we just, that's when everything kind of started. But like the dive thing was insane for sure. We felt super lucky.
And they
And
were
tried our
really-
best.
Yeah, tried our best. Yeah, they were really cool too. They were
So
They were
cool.
like playing Magic like before and after the shows, and just down to like kind of be silly. And I feel like they give off an impression of like being a serious, and like, you know, obviously they're so cool and like great musicians, but like,
They're nerds.
yeah, it's fun to like, yeah, they're nerdy, and like it's fun to like have that kind of real time with them. And that's kind of what's fun about going on tour, is like all these bands that you listen to and you see and you think you know their image, like actually getting to like meet them and hang out with them, and you're kind of like, that person's funny, huh? Like that's like one of my favorite things about like touring with other bands.
It's a good thing and a bad thing sometimes, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
sure it's helped like with your whole just creating your own community in like
Yeah.
Los Angeles. And I've just seen some of the bands you guys have played with, and it seems like you guys are really supportive of each other. I was watching this one like live stream, and you guys were like, I mean, you broke a string, so you had some time to kill, but you were like just naming off
sorry.
all these like local LA bands. And I just thought, oh, like that's cool. It's a cool way to kind of use your platform right there. Is just like
Yeah.
point people in their direction. That
Well,
was
that's
cool.
how we got to where we are. So you like, I don't know, we were literally just talking about this too. Is just like, we can do so much cool shit, like helping out the
Yeah.
people who could like use it. But it's also, yeah, like we need to give that back. Like we were
Yeah.
given that too, and we're still given that. And like, even if obviously we work really hard for it, but like it's gonna be really cool in the next couple years to like even build more and just empower even more, like girls especially.
Yeah, and I would say with this like fall tour we have coming up, we're trying very hard to like find not niche, but like bands that we really like, that, you know, it's a little bit more female driven, and like having those bands come out on the road with us and just being able to showcase like different kinds of bands than maybe
We can't watch a guy play guitar anymore. Sorry.
Unless it's Jack
We
White.
we can, but there's some other
I
preference.
can't really do it
I'd prefer
anymore.
to see some other things, you know. But like, yeah, it's we're just trying to switch it up, and
If we have the chance to, like, why wouldn't
Exactly.
you do something? Yeah.
oh man, oh she got it. Sorry, I'm really not a techie.
Back to the beginning, I know you said Rat Boys was one of your first songs. That's like one of my favorites. And I noticed you guys like switch instruments on that. So when you guys first started jamming together, was Stas on the guitar and Lexi on the
Yeah.
bass?
Yeah.
So what kind of brought about that switch? I always think it's cool when you're watching a band and they switch instruments. It just shows you like, oh, they can do more than just that. That's pretty
I like
cool.
watching that too. That's what I always loved about Girlpool as well in the early days, is when they could switch back and forth. I thought it was really cute. But yeah, I don't know. I was like I write on guitar. I write songs, but I really like playing bass. And I'm not like a shreddy guitar player. And minimal shred on the bass like comes off a lot more powerful than if I was trying to do it like in a solo or something on a guitar.
I think the like eventual spots where we landed make like it's just fits the band really well. Like I can't do like I would play bass like a guitar player.
Yeah, but you're really good at bass.
It's different
too.
though. Yeah, it's just like I think it's the natural, like it sounds really cool, but we still I think I play bass on a new song on our album. There's still some songs where I'm playing bass on still. It's just kind of like, yeah, like Stas said, it's a little bit easier to write songs on guitar probably. And then yeah, I'll pick up the bass when I need to, but I do think we're lucky that we can do both, that we have, you know, 2 songwriters and switch hitters.
It'd be cool if John and Paul switched, right?
Yeah.
That would have been crazy.
Okay, so that just like got my brain thinking in a certain direction. Like as far as I don't really see that as like a gimmick per se or anything like that, but it is something that keeps the live show like interesting. Like, oh, that's interesting. Like they're switching instruments or whatever. I mean, is there anything like when it comes to like thinking about those things? Do you think about that a lot? Like, how can we differentiate our show to like get people to remember us, or do you just do your thing?
I think we think of ways to not maybe fall into gimmicky traps. I didn't know that switching instruments might be considered. Now I'm like, oh.
No. I don't think it is. I'm just saying, like, as far as like just something different, you know?
No, I mean, like, I try to like be funny and like with the banter and stuff in between, and yeah, we're trying to like work on our transitions, or like when Lexi tunes. Yeah, we try to work on transitions too. We've done that for years. Where like maybe we'll play a set that we like try not to stop really during, or there's like medleys, or you know, bleeding into the next song or something. But I mean, I kind of wish we were doing like the Screamin' Jay Hawkins thing where like we throw rubber snakes out at the crowd and stuff.
Yeah,
that really would be really cool.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
Flaming
this upcoming tour.
Yeah, or something.
Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like, you know, we were talking earlier about you know, catching some breaks and stuff, but it is hard, like, as a band to, like, rise above and go from playing to 4 people to, like, you know, to 10 to keep lifting it up. And I just think it's something that, like, I don't know, you know, like, it's always at the front of our minds, kind of like, okay, what can we do here to, like, maybe next time, you know, instead of playing to 12, we play to 30, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think a little bit of luck goes a long way. Definitely can see instances where we're lucky and fortunate. Living in LA is like a huge...
Yeah, I mean, bands come here to do it, and we're from here. We had like a whole foundation, like I said.
Yeah,
like our siblings are all involved with the scene. It's like...
Yeah, that's super cool.
But yeah, the power of positive thinking, like if you can envision it, you can get there. Like I feel incredibly like Truman Show about my life, where I'm just like, how am I now shaking Jack White's hand? Like, this is way too specific. And even, yeah, other stuff that Third Man has got us is just, like, so eerily specific to, like, and I know what our next things will be. It's like, we gotta, like, I gotta be shaking John Waters' hand, like, at some point. And, you know, just, like, that kind of stuff where it's, like, yeah, you just have to.
I also think in addition to that too, like I don't want to discredit the amount of practice and time we've put into this.
Oh yeah, we've given up our like
Yeah, like we don't like it's sort of like, at least personally, it's like the band will always take priority
Yeah.
over whatever. We like turn down life of trips, vacations,
My career
birthdays.
was about traveling. Like I was a model for 15 years and like I committed to staying in LA for the band and
Yeah, we've all made sacrifices too. And we're lucky that it even got to a point where we're like, do we need to sacrifice things for this to go forward? Like to even be at that crossroads and have that conversation and that decision make. We're really fortunate, but I think we've also worked pretty hard too and given up a few things.
it's definitely like the more, and it was the same with my last career as well because I was able to like do a lot of really cool shit with the modeling stuff, but if you feed it more of like power, it gets stronger. Like the more you sacrifice for it and the more you give up for it, it does build.
Sounds like Rosemary's Baby.
I know it sounds like but maybe that's like where it stems from is like literally like that feeling of like pain to build something bigger does work. And yeah, it's like I don't know. You just have to literally just like have the vision and like you got to be dedicated to it. And then it's fun.
So you guys both said you were songwriters in the band. What do you think your greatest strength and weakness is as a songwriter or a musician?
Oh, I can jump into that. I love talking about my weaknesses. I really enjoy coming up with like all of the parts and the melody, but when it comes to actually writing the words, I feel a little like I struggle. Like that's not the part that immediately comes easy to me, which I guess is good. You might need to like dig deeper to really think about what you're trying to say. But for me, that's something that I kind of I like the musicianship a little bit more than the words. What about you, Stas?
I think the easiest format for me is to just go and like not overthink it, I guess. Like to just come up with like a structure and just without it, without like, oh, it needs to sound more like this or like I don't know, I have to just like get it out like an expression or it's not going to happen really. It gets like weaker. I find like my strongest songwriting is when I just do it. I don't know. I like keeping it like interesting too with I envision like cool bass lines, like more interesting bass lines. Like I like melodic bass lines a lot, or I'll like try to envision like what Tina from Talking Heads would do, or um, what the Raincoats would do. Tina or Gina. uh, yeah, I don't know. And I honestly like my weakest thing is just having the confidence about it, like not, being like, wait, is this really bad? And uh, I really like writing like conversational lyrics. Like I like kind of, I don't know, like it, yeah, like it's like we could be having a conversation and there's rhymes. I don't know. Like I like doing that and I like simplifying lyrics and um I just have like yeah, I guess I'm just like a bit like maybe not that confident, but I love just like writing and calling it kind of, I guess.
We're really lucky though, at least I feel this way. It's like I feel like maybe we each can like lay down the groundwork for like an idea and then being able to bring it into rehearsal and the other members of the band, Layla and David, they're able to kind of weigh in and shape because it's like you kind of have to strike while it's hot. You're like there's like this 2 or 3 hours that like all of us you're like find this cool riff and you're like, oh my God, I'm in it. And then all of it just maps itself out and makes sense. And it's like these golden hours. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait, I started at 7 and it's 10:30. That's weird. How did that happen?
Right.
And like you get all the magic in that. And then it's cool because then you can bring that to rehearsal, and then like the rest of the shape can be like, it feels good to have band members that are active in that, and we all are like really good about giving notes, and like the whole thing is just what do we need to do to make the song the best it can be, and just having that kind of attitude is really cool, and everybody's down to like contribute to making the song. Like the songs are bigger than the individual who wrote them, you know what I mean? Like it's not about that, it's about let's put the band's each member's thumbprints all over this, which is really nice for like when you're like, I'm not sure if this part works out, or like I don't know about these words. It's cool that we all have like each other to figure out the rest.
I also feel like if one of us is like kind of not feeling it, sometimes like we're like, yeah, maybe we should just move on.
Yeah,
like we
that's
also
true too.
can come in an agreement of like,
yeah,
maybe this one's like not, like we recorded like a few songs like for this album that we're just like, yeah, this one's just not fitting, like we're just not, we should just, maybe we can do something in the future with it.
There was one that we had like this crazy, it's called BWP, I think it's gonna be like the 3rd single. When we first recorded the demo, it had this like insane out of nowhere Grateful Dead kind of like
outro
thing.
Yeah,
and we're like, well, this
so
song
messed
is a
up.
goddamn mess. Yeah. And like it was so messy to the point where like I like kind of wrote some of like, I don't know, I kind of brought it in, and I was like, this song's gotta go. Like I can't listen to this. I'm so like over us even like working, like putting any more time into this. And then like a year passed, and we brought the demo into Juju Ashworth, who recorded and produced our 2nd album. And he was just able to like bring a new perspective to it, and we like got rid of the Grateful Dead outro, and it's this cool vibey kind of Beck
really
song now, and he just like made it a little bit more Paranoids, to be honest.
It was
like
one of those things of just like, we don't know how to end it now because we took out our Grateful Dead song. He like had a really sick.
It was so
solution.
simple too. Yeah, no, it was simple. Of course, it was like way more obvious and simple than what we had imagined, because we were just
easier to overcomplicate for us.
Exactly.
So I think it's way harder to simplify.
Okay, so you mentioned a producer, and I'm curious because this is something that I guess I personally struggle with. When you're, as far as like all the things that surround being in a band, like promotion and creating music videos and creating album art and stuff like that, I mean, how much of it is like you really want to control, and how much of it have you been able to be like, okay, well, I found somebody that I trust, and let's use them for this or that? Like, what is your relationship with all the aspects surrounding just making songs and playing them live, all the other aspects of being in a band?
I would say we're really hands-on. I would like to use the word control freak, maybe even. It sounds kind of intense, but we're really hands-on on all of that. We've always been, and I think we still like, we zoomed with a lot and met with a lot of producers, and like everybody.
It took so long.
It took us it took us like 6 months to find somebody that we thought would fit the vibe, because we were looking for somebody to come in and kind of
female.
we spent ages trying to find a female producer within our budget, which is like a lame thing to bring up, but it is important. Like, we only had, we had a budget that we had to do everything in. And just finding somebody that we vibed with and we knew could come in and kind of be like the 5th band member. Like, we're so close. We don't have a manager. We don't have a tour manager. We're so hands-on with all of it that like it's a big deal when we do give up control. So the vetting process to find like a producer was like, we were pretty like, we're not going to do this unless we find the right person.
I think that's good to be, I mean, it's interesting because like, yeah, everybody has a different mind. And I think in order to be the most Paranoyds-y kind of vibe, you do have to like search and try and find somebody that actually understands your vision.
And we wanted them to like see us live too, which was also tricky. We're like, we should really work with someone who's like seen us live so they can like can capture like that.
We've heard from like a lot of bands that work with producers that it's difficult to capture the energy that they have live in the studio. And so
Especially
like,
in the digital world.
so what made you actually land on this producer? What was it about him?
Lives
That
a mile away from where we both live.
Have you?
No,
I mean,
just
if you
kidding.
listen to anything he's done, he's sick.
Do you know the
like-
band Froth?
But also, he
He's-
produced Sasami.
Yeah.
He produced
Yeah.
Automatic. Like he's like he knows how to record female vocals. Like his taste is so good. Like he was the type of guy that it was like we didn't have to. I get myself into trouble with, you know, engineers or producers or whoever's recording us because they ask like what sound I want, and I try to describe what I think is how you describe it, and it's not the right terminology that they work with, so it totally throws everyone off. And Juju, it was like that didn't even come up. It was because he was like, okay, I know what mic to use for the song, and it was like the mic I wanted.
Yeah, like we would go in sometimes and like I would be like, okay, I always imagine this song sounding like a robot from the 80s playing it and like what they imagine the future would look like. Do you think we could get that kind of a guitar tone?
And he's like,
And
yeah.
you'd be like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Like, and then like it just ended up. So like, yeah, being able to kind of like throw out like wild things like that. And he's like, I got you. That was really special.
Yeah, and all the
Definitely.
references when we met him too, it was like he was like, "This is my favorite. These are my favorite sounds. Like I love this from this," and like he was playing like stuff he had just worked on, and it was just kind of like, "Whoa, yeah, let's like talk all day about this."
is this the same producer that recorded or produced Pet Cemetery and Hotel
No.
Celebrity?
No, those were kind of
Separate, actually. Those are
Yeah.
two different.
Yeah, those are two different sessions. Those were a little bit more self-produced and just kind of like engineered by somebody else.
You self-produced those? Because I thought those sounded great.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Thanks.
like yeah, I think we didn't engineer them or record them ourselves. That's why I
And
wish
we
I
just
knew
didn't
more.
have someone who like was a producer,
Yeah.
or like we feel like we could give them that title, but amazing engineers and like artists themselves for sure.
Awesome. Hotel Celebrity is probably, it might be my favorite one.
Really?
That's
Yeah,
cool.
it's so good, and the video's great. I
Thanks.
love a lot of your guys' videos. We haven't even talked about that. You guys really lean into video. I couldn't
Oh,
believe
we
how many
love
videos you have.
We take
Yeah,
them
what's all that
super
about? What's the
seriously.
inspiration? Yeah, I could tell. I mean, I see personality all over it. So when did
Yeah.
that begin?
I mean, much like I think that's like one of the things growing up in the MTV era. It's like you're like, we have to have good music videos. Like I know it's not like really the thing anymore probably, but like to me, music and visuals go hand in hand like forever. Like, you know, iconic movie scenes are like not really anything without the soundtrack or like whatever. And same with vice versa. It's like if you have the strong visuals, the song will always take you to that visual, and I love that. And I found one of the coolest girls ever, Amber Navarro, and her partner Max Flick are just beyond like talented, but also same as Juju. It's like we speak the same language. Have all the same references, inspired by the same stuff, and like I just remember the girlfriend degree video sounding so ambitious, and I hadn't worked with Ambar yet, and I was like on the phone with her, and we're talking about like the Barbie stop motion thing, and you know I was kind of like, you know, we don't like have to do that. Like it sounds kind of crazy. It sounds like maybe you can't even do it. Like I don't know you that well. And she was like, no, we're doing it. It's gonna be good. And it was just, I mean, the girlfriend degree video is like one of my like treasure box things for sure.
It's
As
such a
with
fun
the other
video.
ones, but I just think because it was our first project with her and like on our first album and stuff, the Girlfriend Degree video is like so special, and that it had that crazy like viral.
Oh yeah,
It didn't go viral, but like it blasted off.
It went on Reddit, like indie heads or Reddit music, and then everybody
was like the day it
debating.
came out.
Yeah, we were on tour too, so it was really fun to just keep refreshing to see like how many views it had, because we couldn't believe it.
Yeah, and obviously like we hadn't had, you know, we get good views, you know, we get 5 to 10K typically, but like this was like reaching like the teens within the first day.
Like out, and it was because everybody on Reddit was like like this sounds like that Iggy Pop song. No, it doesn't. They ripped off this
like the
song.
Kinks.
They ripped off
like
this song, and I'm like, yeah, keep going, keep talking about things we
and
ripped
then it
off.
just
I was like, keep
blew
going.
up. It was like really good press for us.
And then
like, why do you have to say female musician, like blah, you know?
Yes,
like,
people got into a fight.
thing.
It turned into like a fake internet fight, and we were just like the center of it, just like lapping up all the views from it. We're like, yeah, keep fighting.
It was exciting.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like Shelby said, you know, everything either adds or retracts. And I feel like all those videos definitely add, because what's really in right now, even though music videos might not be like, you know, the biggest thing right now, but personality is. And I feel like it has your personality all throughout it. It really does. And
that's good.
they just keep getting better. And I feel like the production values are, you know, like was it Egg Salad? That video aesthetically just looks super cool.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a really cool one, because it was like this like kid in Chile, right?
I think so.
She was like 17 at the time, and just like, I really, really want to make a video for you guys. And then like a year into the back and forth of that, like, because the pandemic hit, and we're not even seeing each other. Like, we were able to do that. She shot her side of it, and then we were able to team up with Amber and Max again, and like do all our own hair and makeup, because this was like July 2021.
No,
2020. Yeah, so like people still weren't, like, we're outdoors wearing masks still, like, you know, it's still like kind of nutty.
God.
So it was like really just us with Max and Ambar, and that was great.
A remote shoot.
Yeah, I love that video, and I love the Carnage Bargain video. David filmed that on like one of those shitty like $20, well, now they're expensive because they got hit, but like old 2008
like digital camera that records too.
Digicam.
Yeah.
And David filmed us just in different locations on tour. Like, that's so perfect. You can get like all these like cinematic American shots, and then Max Flick edited it. And I love that video too, the Carnage Bargain one.
We should talk about the new one we have coming out.
And then there's a new one coming out
on the 29th, in a week.
Yeah, we're so excited. We got to work with JJ Stratford. She's like so kind of legendary and iconic here in LA. She works with all of our favorite drag queens. Like, she did the Violet Chachki video, the Katya video, and she's just doing like amazing stuff. And again, someone who has an amazing archive in their head that we can all pull references from.
And we went to her, and I think we were like similar to how I was describing. I was like 80s future robots, and I was like maybe like Alien or Terminator.
She's like, I have this robot lying around, you know, just like whatever. She just had everything. We're like, we really want to like poof and disappear. And she's like, yeah, that's in the notes.
Yeah, so this one's really cool too, because it's like like another, just the Paranoids and another alternate. I guess we like to create weird alternative worlds in all of our music videos, and this for sure is following that. We're like on a American Bandstand intergalactic human race robot thing. I don't even know. I'm just kind of like throwing out words.
Yeah, no, but it is true. Like, we like our narratives, and we like the personality, and it's definitely not like we have our moments where it's like, okay, we gotta look hot in this one, we looked like trash in the last one, but like besides that, it's like pretty fun. I don't know, it's just like very creative and very fun and like memorable. And this one, we even had like JJ's friend like made aluminum dresses, and my brother did the production art design, so our hats we're wearing is like and even the stages we're on, the bubbles going, it's like all my brother, and like just so cool.
So that's for what song coming up here? Is it a new single?
Yeah, it's called Lizzy. It's our first single for the new album, Talk Talk Talk.
Oh, exclusive.
Yeah, exclusive.
Exclusivo.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be sick. It comes out the 29th.
The video, yeah.
Yeah, the video.
Your first single comes out the 29th, and then you guys have 2 more singles, and then the full album will drop sometime in like July or September.
Yeah, the full album drops September 9th, and so like pretty much in July and August we're going to like tease out like a few more singles to get us to the release day.
Right on. That sounds really cool. And I like that you guys are using, like you said, so many females for the directors.
Oh,
and,
yeah. We try to create a whole female team if we can.
That's cool. Because, I mean, I get it. Like, everywhere you go, most people in the business, whether it's at a venue or at a studio, I'm sure it's all very male-dominated.
Yeah. It's a tough industry. It's like a really gnarly industry, and I think honestly, women are kind of too smart to be in it.
Ouch.
So we're just trying to change stuff if we can.
And we like to vet again like who we're really we like to make sure who we're working with is a good fit for both parties. So gender, regardless of gender, it's just like ultimately, is this a good person? Is this somebody we feel good about? Do they get us? Do we get them? If so, like, let's go. Let's do this.
Funny enough, bringing it back to Conan, who we talked about at the beginning of the podcast.
You guys have him? Yes, bring him out. Okay, funny enough.
He's right here, yeah. Now, I just listened to him talk about how one of the coolest parts of his whole career is, like, creating a community over time and having
he's
your
real
people.
Deal. To go from The Simpsons to like a talk show to like his podcast now, even just interviewing random people across the world. It's like he's definitely like
inspirational.
To look up to.
Yeah, all around good dude. And I don't know, me and Shelby were just talking about this the other day. Like we've tried to work with a lot of people that kind of just like, don't really quite get it. And I'm sure you've had like your fair share of that for sure. Seems like you did 6 months of interviews. But it's once you find people, it really makes you appreciate them. Like when you find people.
It just validates everything.
Doing. Yeah.
You're like, oh, we're like just too niche, I guess. Like, or like, I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And we're like a dying breed, or it's like, it seems like that with what's, seemingly important at this time. But we really want to keep that alive and like just keep building and bring more people together, and like
we're looking for lifers,
and just to keep it fun too, like because the internet shit's not fun. Like doing TikTok shit, like I don't know, like those endorphins are not real, and the real shit is like people you can talk about 80s slashers with and like rebuild that for the video. Like I don't know, it's like cool, or do it as a vocal effect or whatever, like the real stuff.
Yeah, because we really have like kind of flip the social media thing on its head a little bit, where it's like it was fun and then now it's like, oh, you got to use it, and then now it's like a burden.
I know. Now we're working for it. It used to like work for us, and now we're just slaves to it. It's like crazy.
Yeah, because there's like I'm just speaking personally, but like I'll like sit back and be like, yo, I'm addicted to this thing, like just think about it. And then like also you gotta like, so there's that played into like, and then also it's like, well, you gotta use it, man, you gotta use it to get your thing off the ground. So that's like a really hard relationship, I feel like.
It is. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I'm like constantly, Lexi got out of social media like years ago, but we're constantly comparing, like I'm able to keep in contact with all these people that she can't, because she doesn't have like a story post where they can reply and be like, I've been there.
I'm like an asshole I'm like, I didn't even know my brother was like, Layla was like, didn't you know your brother was celebrating an anniversary today? And I'm like, no, I didn't know that. I'm not on, like, he didn't call me. I'm not on fucking Instagram. I don't know that.
It's like Lexi was able to get out of it, but for me, it's like I'm constantly deleting and re-adding it, deleting it, re-adding it, and it's like that's an addiction, dude. Like
It really is.
yeah. And all I'm doing is just small talk mostly with like people, but it is a powerful tool to like keep small talk and like keep building things. Like it is, but it's too much all in one. It's like shopping where you also build relationships with people and like, it's
Right.
not right. Even though the mall is great. Like that was cool when it was real where you could shop and build friendships. That was cool, but
Oh, like in real life, the mall.
yeah, the
You
mall.
should play the mall parking lot.
You should play in a mall like Tiffany.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be
New
good.
video.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
But anyways, follow them at the Paranoyds
Yeah.
on Instagram.
We're on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. We are obsessed. You are too.
Mhm.
Well, awesome. Thank you guys for sitting down with us today. And
Yeah.
I hope we can in some way help launch this. I can't wait to hear the music myself and see the new video or videos coming out. We always wrap up pretty much the same way. We just wanted to ask if there's like an artist or a certain song that you've been listening to or that inspires you guys. And we want to add it to a Couch Radio playlist on Spotify.
Cool.
The new Automatic record is awesome.
Oh yeah, that's coming out.
Yeah, Automatic.
Gosh, it's one of those things where on the spot. Oh, I'm in this like
She's checking her Instagram right
You know,
now.
we've compared, like, we've thought about, like, do we tell people we're going to do this or is it better on the
Oh,
spot?
we love Sweeping Promises too.
Oh yeah, Sweeping Promises.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
So the artist, the band Automatic, and then the band Sweeping Promises.
Yeah, they're awesome. Those whole like
Awesome.
the albums, like there's not even one. It's just like great albums, start to
Yeah.
finish.
Okay.
Sounds
All right,
good.
We'll add them on there.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah. On a real last question, what's your favorite Ben Stiller role?
Oh,
Not movie,
God.
role.
I mean, he's so good in There's Something About Mary.
Oh yeah.
That's a classic.
Jonathan
Richmond featured? Come on.
I watched that other one kind of recently. What's that one? It's so cringy when he longboards in Greenway. Or where is he?
The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Yeah.
Walter
Oh
Mitty.
my God! What the hell is that movie?
I don't know what is that.
It's
did
you
not
should
like
watch
that.
it. It's insane. It's
So that's your
so out of
answer?
control.
I think that's her answer.
I do love
Oh.
him in There's Something About Mary, especially when he has the braces and he gets his balls caught.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
my
yeah.
favorite.
Oh.
Yeah.
Classic. That's a good one. I feel like you know, the deeper. I don't know why I was thinking about this the other day, but I was like, yo, he's got so many like iconic roles, and you like, I don't know, like him in Heavyweights. No one talks about it, but
Was he
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
Dodgeball movie too?
The Dodgeball
Mhm.
movie. Heavyweights is like 90s.
yeah, for sure. That's like a under the radar one. Like no one talks about Heavyweights.
Yeah, I think I've seen it once.
Underrated.
Well, we've got some homework to do, some Ben Stiller work,
Do some Ben Stiller research and
then get back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could.
Is he in Anchorman? Is he in like the fight scene? He is.
Oh,
right?
he is.
Oh, Starsky
Yeah.
and Hutch.
Oh, great one.
Yeah. The deeper you go, you're just like, wait a second. Is he the greatest ever?
Is that who funds this podcast?
Well,
Daddy
we're supposed to
Stiller?
keep it under the radar, but yeah. Josh's last name is actually Stiller. We've been trying to keep that under wraps.
Oh, hell yeah. That's some LA shit right there. Love that.
Well, thanks, guys,
Yeah.
again. You've been very
Thanks for
generous
having
with your time.
us.
Yeah,
this was
thanks
fun.
for having us.
You caught us in a very exciting time, and I'm glad that we were able to chat with you guys and record it and stuff.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see you in October at the Mohawk
Definitely.
or at Hotel Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
See you
cool.
guys.
Thanks again.
All right,
y'all.
thank
Get
you.
better.
Yeah, feel
Bye.
better.
Rock those antibodies, bro.
That's right.
Bye.
Bye.
We had COVID. Nobody wants to hear about COVID. We had it. It's entirely and completely one of our faults. And I'm not going to name names, but you guys can narrow it down. You have a 50-50 shot of guessing. Therefore, we couldn't do this remote together, which when we do remote podcasts, we like to do them remote together, which means that our thighs are touching while we do it. Me and Josh, while we talk to whoever. But this time we weren't able to do that. I'm like a pack animal when they sleep. Like I need the contact just so I know that he's there. Just subconsciously, I don't have to think about it. It's like, but then anyways, we weren't able to do that. So it was scary in multiple ways, but we pushed through and we got it done.